questions that you might have on behalf of the public related to the annual report release and the statistics of 2012, and both on the police side and the fire side. So fire away if you have any questions.
Let me ask you one simple question. What surprised you about some of the numbers, some of the conclusions that maybe some of the numbers sort of imply?
I don't know if anything really surprised us. Nothing really surprised me. Maybe the increase in juvenile crimes, I think, was probably one thing that surprised me. But other than that, with the economy the way it is and the downturn and those kind of things, some of the things that have been going on in our society, nothing surprised me as far as the numbers. The numbers continue to climb this year as well, so we're on an upward trend.
But what can anything be taken of sources as to why? I mean, I know that there was the Latin Kings, the bust that has made, that might skew a little bit in the 2013 numbers when they come out. But was a lot of it gang related, or you can't even surmise on that right now?
I don't think that this Latin King investigation, I don't think spiked our numbers at all. That was a WeMet investigation. It may have affected their numbers, but as far as our numbers go, I don't think that investigation spiked our numbers. I don't know. We didn't draw that many numbers when they came into the search warrants. It actually may have lowered our gang calls as far as this year with that investigation going on. I think most of our crimes that have increased are more family-oriented, those type of economy-based crimes. Family situations. We had an increase in like civil complaints, suicides, those type of calls. I think were where we saw most of our increases, not necessarily in gang crimes.
Isn't that almost more dangerous for the individual officers when you have domestic calls, as it is the violent ones where we got a robbery, we got a burglary or something like that? If you have a domestic call, we got big trouble.
Well, probably more dangerous, because some of those calls, if you're going to do a gang situation or a weapon situation, you know what you're getting yourself into on the way there. You know, okay, there may be weapons involved, those kind of activities. In domestic situations or traffic stops, for instance, specifically domestic situations, those are the most dangerous for our officers, and they don't know what they're getting into. There could be weapons involved, there may not be. So yeah, I know when I work the road, those type of situations, you really got to be on high alert, because the fear of the unknown is much greater than going into situations that you know probably have that tendency to escalate.
You mentioned the rise in the number of suicide calls, and I wonder if you guys could just talk a little bit about that, if there's any kind of plan to address that in a public service sort of way, or you're just going to take them as they come. Are you guys working with the county health department?
Well, we certainly try to. We've been involved in a lot of this gang activity, trying to help families with that. We haven't did anything specifically that I'm aware of. Maybe Jack or Bob know that I don't, but we haven't did anything specific as far as attempting to help those particular people out, other than a lot of them may have mental issues at this point. A lot of our reports are referred to at the county level to try to get back to them and help them, but we don't have any in-house programs set up to assist with that type of situation.
I think the other thing to note is that for those types of complaints are along the service type calls, not crime calls. So those are where the resources in the community really come to play, and where we really look to the social service agencies, community mental health, to step in and assist those people. The fact that the numbers are up are concerning for sure, but our goal is to get them the help that they need when we arrive.
And when we do take those calls, it's obviously not a criminal situation when you have somebody who's feeling suicidal, but if we have basically probable causes, essentially what it rises to believe that they're a danger to themselves, we can take them into protective custody. And once we do that, then we take them to the Holland Hospital, where they can receive the psychiatric treatment that they need and get a screening. And there are times where we, based on the information, we don't necessarily have that level meant to require them to go, but we'll always try to talk people into it. And generally, we can get people to go down to the hospital to seek the treatment, so we can at least start the ball rolling to get them the help they need.